Said yesterday this was going to be a Jared Jones episode. It is a Jared Jones episode, and it even has the good outcome. He's a starting pitcher for the Pirates once again. He will be starting on Friday. Did they make the best choice of how to deploy the rest of their pitching staff, though? Good morning, and welcome to Offbeat here on North Shore 9, presented by FanDuel. My name is Alex Stumpf, and this is a daily look at your Pittsburgh Pirates. Jared Jones is being activated off the injured list on Friday. He is going to make the start. It is the right thing to do for him. I hated how much conversation there was about him being a reliever. And I kind of laid out all the reasons why it was a dumb idea over a couple podcasts here. That he had never pitched in the role, that he wasn't going to be able to be deployed as a regular reliever, guy who could go back-to-back days, how he's coming off of an injury. It never made sense. And whenever Don Kelly was talking it on Thursday, he pretty much laid out those reasons also for why Jared Jones is going to be in the rotation. I would still argue that they could have saved themselves a lot of grief if they had just said that from the get-go, that he was going to be returning as a starter rather than putting through that cryptic, oh, we view him as a starter long-term. That's neither here nor there. I get a big part of it was they didn't want to have dead men walking in the rotation. That there was going to have to be some sort of alteration to the Pirates rotation for Jones to come back. And realistically, there were three options. One was a six-man rotation, something that Don Kelly shot down on Wednesday. Like, look, this isn't something we're seriously considering right now. A six-man rotation theoretically could have worked, but I was very much against it for a variety of reasons. One, you're cutting into Paul Skeen's starts. You're cutting into Braxton Ashcraft starts. You're stretching it thin. And you're also taking a reliever away because you need to have at least 13 position players. This isn't like, oh, we're just going to take away Valdez, just to name a name. Like a position player, we'll just have another starting pitcher. You can't do it. You need to have at least 13 position players on a team. So, yeah, taking an arm out of the bullpen to have the starting rotation, it just never made sense. Six-man rotation, maybe in September, whenever you have that extra roster spot, you can explore it then. But right now, no, it wasn't a viable option right now. That left two other options. One was Bubba Chandler either going to the bullpen or Indianapolis. We talked about that yesterday, about how I saw a lot of things that I liked from Bubba's last start, a lot of it intent, a lot of it courage, pitching fearlessly. I like that. I like that. There's also mechanical issues on hand right now. And it just wasn't what the it just wasn't what I feel like the Pirates need right now. They need a solid starting five with how their bullpen is right now. And Bubba Chandler has not shown that he could go consistently deep into games. So while the stuff is obviously great and I love the intent, I felt like it was something they needed to seriously consider. And the third option was Carmen Mlodzinski being the odd man out. And that's what ended up coming to pass. Carmen Mlodzinski is going to the bullpen. And look, I get it. There's a big issue in that bullpen right now. Yesterday, it is 4-4 in the top of the sixth, top of the seventh innings. And the Pirates don't have reliable middle relief right now. And it cost him the game. Yohan Ramirez, Justin Lawrence, outfield defense, as we talked about, it cost the Pirates the win. And that is an issue that is going to keep popping up this year. It has popped up a lot. It will continue to pop up. They don't have enough reliable middle relief. And Carmen Mlodzinski offers a solution. Not every day, not all the time, but someone who can come in, pitch high leverage innings in a multi-inning bulk role to get to the back end, to get to Montgomery and Soto and whomever. In that regard, this is probably what's best for the team. This is probably what is best for the team because they don't have good middle relief options right now. And with Jared Jones needing to come off the 60-day IL and a move needed to be made in the bullpen, I wonder if we're going to see a significant change. Because the optional relievers right now are Evan Sisk, Wilbur Dotel, uh, Brandon Bidwell, and Mason Montgomery. Montgomery, safe. Bidwell, he's been doing real well. Sisk, he's been doing real well in his role. Maybe Dotel is the odd man out just because, Mlodzinski could go multi-innings also. But if not, if the Pirates want to go with who I feel are their best 8 pitchers in the bullpen right now, maybe it's a time whenever it's like, look, we need to open up a 40-man spot anyway. What is Yohan Ramirez's future with this club? What is Justin Lawrence's future with this club? I wouldn't be shocked if we see a fairly significant move tomorrow. Maybe it isn't, though. Maybe it is just either someone who's in AAA right now getting non-tendered, someone going to a 60-day IL, whatever the case may be. Whatever the case may be, the Pirates don't have that reliable middle relief, and this is a move that is going to force them to assess who they have currently. And Carmen Mlodzinski, we know, can pitch high leverage. He can pitch multi-inning. He has done a lot of really good stuff in the role that the Pirates are going to be asking of him, and it's probably going to be an expanded role. Someone who's not going to pitch, one inning back-to-back days, but rather, hey, we need 3 good innings right now. This is a tie game. We need someone to keep this a tie game, and if we take the lead, hold that lead. And in that regard, I think Carmen Mlodzinski could be an impact reliever at a glaring area of need that they don't currently have. Like what Wilbur Dotel did his last time out, where he was able to give 3 innings and get the win. Imagine Carmen Mlodzinski doing that. That's a pretty easy sell, I think. We're going to take a break in a second, and I'm going to give the other side of the coin of why it might not be fair to the pitcher, though.
This episode is brought to you by IQ Bar, our exclusive snack hydration sponsor. IQ Bar protein bars, IQ Mix hydration mixes, and IQ Joe mushroom coffees are the delicious, low-sugar, brain and body fuel you need to win your day. The Ultimate Sampler Pack is a great way for you to try all IQ Bar products and flavors. You get 9 IQ bars, 8 IQ Mix sticks, and 4 IQ Joe sticks. All IQ Bar products are clean label certified and entirely free from gluten, dairy, soy, GMOs, and artificial ingredients. With over 20,000 5-star reviews and counting, more people than ever are fueling their lifestyles with IQ Bar's brain and body boosting bars, hydration mixes, and mushroom coffees. The Ultimate Sampler Pack includes all 3. My personal favorites so far have been the almond butter chip and the iced tea lemonade hydration mix. It's just really full of flavor. I love starting my day with it, and I couldn't imagine starting my day with anything else other than IQ Bar products. Right now, IQ Bar is offering our podcast listeners 20% off all IQ Bar products, including the Ultimate Sampler Pack, plus free shipping. To get your 20% off, text MLB to 64,000. That's MLB 64000. Message and data rates may apply. See terms for details.
Would you like to guess what Carmen Mlodzinski's ERA has been over his last 4 starts? 2.14. Would you like to guess what the Pirates' record is in Carmen Mlodzinski's 11 starts this year? 8-3. I feel for Mlodzinski in this decision because while I think it's best to suit the team, I don't know if it does service to the player. Because being a starting pitcher is something that he has worked towards, and he got the opportunity last year, and he justly lost the job. He could not hold on to the job. Simple as that. This time around, he really does everything kind of right. Like, I'm not saying he was perfect or anything, but he pitched well enough that he would stay in a lot of major league starting rotations. And I felt like as of late, he was making strides. He was getting better. And candidly, it stinks that he is the odd man out. And I don't mean that in a way like angrily shaking fist. Why isn't it Bubba Chandler going to AAA Indy? Why isn't it this? Why isn't it this move instead? I'm just talking about a matter of circumstance here. That you have a young pitcher who has shown tangible growth, who has gotten better as this year has progressed, and he is losing his job for stuff that's out of his control. That stinks. This rotation should be a meritocracy at the end of the day. And that's why Jared Jones is in this rotation, because it is a meritocracy. And I hold no delusions. If you ask me, Alex, which pitcher in 2030 has a better chance of being in the Pirates starting rotation, Bubba Chandler or Carmen Mlodzinski? It's Bubba Chandler. Bubba Chandler can figure stuff out. He can be great. He could be great at this role. And me floating the idea of like maybe you send him down to AAA Indy isn't a long-term solution. It's a short-term type of deal because there is always going to be a need for starting pitching. You can't go the rest of the year through five. There is going to be someone else who enters this rotation at some point this year, either through injury or poor performance by someone else. And I really like the intent and some of the stuff. And I saw some really good things with Bubba Chandler yesterday. And you know what? If he was the option, if he was optioned, if that was the outcome of this, I would be saying that he was a victim of circumstance too. I totally get that. And like this is at the end of the day a champagne problem. If you're talking about, do you want to put this top 100 prospect in AAA, or do you want this quality starter to go be an impact arm in your bullpen because you're bringing back a huge arm into your rotation? I covered rotations where like the starting three for the next series were like Chase DeYoung, Will Crow, and Trevor Cahill. It is far, far different today than it was 5 years ago. This is a team that is going to be anchored by its starting rotation. It will go as far as these young starters take them. And that's why it kind of stinks that whenever you have one of those young starters who is homegrown, who is done almost everything right within his control. Like if you were to run 10,000 simulations of this season, going back to a previous regime's, quotable moment, 10,000 simulations, I think Carmen Mlodzinski is somewhere like in the 70 to 80 percentile of how this season could go. This has gone very well. And in a lot of ways, he would stay in the rotation. He would keep going. But needing the bullpen outweighs it. And Jared Jones needing a rotation spot outweighs it. But you know what? There was no clear right answer for how the Pirates should use Jared Jones and what happens to the pitching staff. There wasn't a clear right answer. There was one clear wrong answer. And that was if Jones was going to be in the bullpen. The Pirates didn't choose the wrong answer. And I think Jared Jones is going to remind people pretty quickly why he is a starter on this team, why he can be a big part of this rotation, not just for 2026, but years to come. Thank you so much for listening to Offbeat here on North Shore 9 presented by FanDuel. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe wherever you find a podcast or check us out on YouTube if you want to see my smiling face. Thank you so much for listening. Enjoy Jared Jones Day. We will talk again next week.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube, if you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.